Welcome back to the program. The 2016 budget has been focused tonight, but you can be a part of the conversation here. Just follow the hashtag. It is hashtag 2016 budget. Or tweet at us on these handles at CTV Politics, and you have your tweet come up live on your screen. Or send to also at Shewaki, and that's my own personal handle. Or send an email to politicstoday@channelstv.com. Well, some of your tweets are already coming in as you see them scrolling there live on your screen. Well, the Minister of Budget and National Plan, Senator Udoma Udo Udoma, has been our guest on the program. But you remember what the president said. We've been bringing you highlights of the things that he said at a budget presentation last Tuesday. Let me bring you another soundbite from President Muhammadu Buhari. This time around, talking about the deficit and how we're going to cope. Take a listen.
We have proposed a budget of 6.08 trillion naira with a revenue projection of 3.86 trillion, resulting in a deficit of 2.22 trillion naira. The deficit, which is equivalent to 2.16% of Nigeria's GDP, will take our overall debt profile to 14% of our GDP. This remains well within acceptable fiscal limits. Our deficit will be financed by a combination of domestic borrowing of 984 billion naira and foreign borrowing of 900 billion naira, totaling 1.84 billion naira. Over the medium term, we expect to increase revenues and reduce overheads to bring the fiscal deficit down to 1.3% of GDP by 2018.
Well, President Muhammadu Buhari there at a budget presentation at the National Assembly, talking about the budget deficit and all of that, but then and how to fund this budget. Senator Udoma Udoma, he's been our guest on the program, but tell me, you've been talking about this, and a lot of questions on the minds of Nigeria. For example, the issue of subsidy. Is it going? Is not anywhere in that budget. Is it a tacit endorsement to the fact that subsidy is going in January?
I believe that the Minister of State Petroleum has spoken extensively about it. With the current low crude oil prices, he has indicated that it is possible to sell PMS at the pump at 87 naira or less without subsidy.
Without subsidy?
Yes.
So, I mean, that invariably means, because we've had subsidy of, 85 naira at the pump price. That means subsidy we go.
No, what he said, what the minister said, is that his NMPC, PPRA, what they have done is they've looked at the template and they've removed a lot of inefficiencies in the template. And so they've made it much more efficient. And with the greater efficiency, it is possible to sell PMS at the pump for 87 naira or less without subsidy.
Interesting, because, I mean, a lot of things on the minds of Nigerians. A lot of people have criticized the subsidy regime as a fraud, because a lot of people get these monies to subsidize some of these products. For example, kerosene subsidized to 50 naira, but it never sells at that price. Even PMS sells as high as 200 naira, 170 naira. People are saying that it does not make sense to have subsidy. And I looked at all the documents of this budget. Subsidy payment is nowhere to be found.
Well, I'll tell you that the president is very, very concerned about the delivery price of petroleum products. He doesn't want people to suffer. He is very worried about the news reports that is being sold, PMS is being sold at 120, 150, 200 naira. He's very worried about that. And that is why he has charged the NMPC, to look at a more effective and efficient way of delivering the products within the price so that Nigerians don't suffer anymore as a result of it.
Well, reasonably, subsidy going is the way to go, isn't it?
Well, I think I've answered the question, because what I said is that it can be delivered within that 87 Naira with no subsidy due or payable. I think I've more or less answered the question.
Oh, interesting, because some Nigerians will want to get it as clear as possible. But of course, a lot of people have reacted to the budget. Of course, some people said it's just a brilliant document, a piece waiting for the National Assembly consideration. Let me look at the politics of it. You've been at the National Assembly.
Yes.
Very interesting period. We're talking about debating on the budget. Tell me, how crucial is it at this stage?
Well, I would say that the budget ultimately will be what the National Assembly passes. So the National Assembly will be the ultimate determinant. What the executive does is we present proposals for their consideration. So we will engage them. We will explain to them, because we know that most members, in fact, the National Assembly members, consist of people who are very patriotic. If you sit down and go through item by item and explain, they will understand the point that is being made. Of course, they may also bring things that may even improve on it. So at the end of the day, we have to sit down with the National Assembly and work with them to get the final document passed into law.
Interesting. I noted the Senate president saying that, fine, they are going to expedite action on it, but he says that they will apply some level of caution in the light of great importance of the document. They will not short-circuit scrutiny on the altar of expediency. That means that averagely we often see budget being passed sometimes in the space of 2 months and all of that. Do you see it getting through the National Assembly anytime shorter than that?
Well, I can't predict. That is not in my control. However, so far, we have had an excellent relationship with the National Assembly. With the leadership, with the relevant committees, we've had an excellent relationship. They have been very supportive. If you saw the supplementary appropriation, it was passed in record time. So we have no reason. Right now, we have an excellent relationship, and we look forward to it continuing.